Day 6 of Canadian Spies are boring.
Oh my God.
Daily shows.
Oh, I'm so tired, Reese.
Daily
I'm so
shows.
tired, Reese. Why did you drag me out here to do this?
Daily shows.
Daily shows. Oh my God.
So, Jesse, what have you learned so far? Do you think Canada is a country with no espionage and spies?
Not anymore.
See? See, look at that. We're halfway through this 10-day spy marathon, and already Canada... How many cool stories have we covered that would
I
make
think
great...
Camp X was my favorite
But
by far. That was amazing.
What about the story of Igor Gouzenko and the idea...
That was amazing. That was really incredible.
How many films could you make off all of these stories?
I feel like I could have like a Netflix TV series.
William Stevenson.
Yeah.
The inspiration for James Bond.
Right? Yeah.
Fenian Raids, or Fenian Raids, whichever one you prefer.
Ferengi.
T-shirts. We came up with some names. I've already forgotten them.
Seduced by Ottawa.
Seduced by Ottawa.
Seduced by Ottawa.
That should be the tagline for Ottawa Tourism. If you're from Ottawa Tourism and you would like to sponsor us, we would like to help you with a campaign called Seduced by Ottawa.
Seduced by Ottawa.
Just we can't do Mississauga. Mississauga because
What do you call it?
Mississauga.
Mississauga.
Like I said,
We're sorry, Mississaugians. Mississaugians? Is that what you call yourselves?
Mississaugians.
Mississaugians. That can't be right.
Mississaugans.
That's probably it.
Yeah. Did I say it right? Say it again.
Mississauga.
Mississauga.
Mississaugans. Or Mississaugians, because that makes it sound like you're soggy.
Mississauganites.
Mississauganites?
It sounds like from the Bible. And yea, the Mississauganites did starve to death, and locusts did eat their faces. I don't know why I said it like in an old-timey radio voice. My name is Bill Bible, and I can read the Bible. On AM radio.
Oh my God, Reese. All right, what are you teaching me today? Oh my God. Nothing about
I'm going to do an improvised...
I'm Bill Bible. This is what... You're going to do what?
Improvised Bible. Chapter 1. Was there in chapters?
Yep.
Act 1.
Keep going. Act 1. Sure.
The beginning. Oh, good hell. But it doesn't exist, so I'm fine. So, have you ever heard of PROFUNC?
I'm sorry, all those people out there who believe in hell, we didn't mean to offend.
Yeah,
if you're looking forward to going to hell, then...
It's just my personal opinion. Enjoy hell. I won't be there. Unless I'm wrong and I will be there. In which case, I'll see you there. And you were right. So... The other ones could be right too.
Yep. All of them.
The other religions could be right.
That would be more terrifying if all of the religions
were
right.
I like the idea of reincarnation.
Really?
I like the idea of someone...
I'd only like the idea of reincarnation if you could remember your past life.
No, imagine if you were the one person in the world who could remember all of your reincarnations.
I mean, there's people out there who claim that they can, you know.
You know, you mean like...
it's only brought out if I drink a bucket of LSD.
Oh my God, I was a 16th century Dutch poet.
Is that someone brought? I think my brother brought this up at one point that like everyone who can remember a past life, their past life, they were always someone of incredible importance or amazing. They weren't just like some janitor of a boring library who lived a quiet life and then died of a heart attack. Like that's never happened.
Well, I was a shepherd and I tripped over my own shoelaces and fell off a cliff.
Yeah, and like that's it. Like,
nobody found me for 4 weeks.
Yeah, you know, your past life, you're always someone amazing.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was the king of Angola, or something like that. I don't know if Angola had a king, but if it did, I was it. So,
what are you teaching us? Teach me things.
PROFUNC.
PROFUNC.
Which sounds like
Daft Punk.
Daft Punk PROFUNC.
Yeah.
It's Canada's alternative. So, this episode's called PROFUNC and the Enemies Within. So, okay. Well done. Let me know when you're done.
Good, sir.
Good. Jesse likes making face music.
I do.
I remember kids doing that in school and in the 90s.
I'm just a big kid.
And it wasn't cool then either.
No, you're right. Okay.
I'm joking. You do what you need to do. It's fine.
I don't need to. It's not like a compulsion. I mean,
isn't it?
Well,
isn't it?
I mean.
So, you've heard about McCarthyism.
I have heard of McCarthyism, yes.
So the idea of America was being purged of communist sympathizers. Anyone who was kind of left-leaning. I'm a big fan of Charlie Chaplin. I like reading books about Charlie Chaplin's life. I find him fascinating. And he was essentially kicked out of America.
What?
So he... I
didn't know that.
Yeah, he had a very, very poor upbringing. His mother had mental health issues, and this is like the Victorian era. So he went hungry. He didn't have much at all as a kid growing up. He was very, very poor.
What year was that? Late 1800s.
Well, when Queen Victoria was alive. That's the clue. But he obviously became quite wealthy, but he never forgot his kind of roots of impoverishment. And even though he was a big wealthy film star, he used to be involved in like fundraisers and all this kind of thing. Well, eventually he left. He ended up living in Switzerland because he was banned from America for being leftist.
Wow.
And died in Switzerland as well.
Leftist to them was communist?
Yeah, well, anyone who was kind of like left-leaning, they were trying to purge from America and from Hollywood and everything. So, but anyway,
I thought it was just communism, which is bad enough as it is to purge anyone for thoughts of communism, but to purge people for just being left-leaning.
And used to use the word comrade and things like that, so they didn't like that because that's what people said in films. That's what the bad guys said in films. So,
oh my God,
it's that simple. But anyway, so. Canada took a different approach. Canada was way more open to people having political beliefs that were against them. But the United States begged Canada to purge trade unions.
What are trade unions?
You don't know what a trade union is?
Not really, no.
It's where people who work somewhere, all the employees start a club.
A union. Just a union.
Yeah, a trade union.
I just
they start a club where they represent each other en masse.
I've heard of unions.
To bargain for better terms of employment.
Just never heard of the trade union.
Okay, great.
So why get rid of union? Oh, well, I suppose because unions.
Because unions tend to be left-leaning because they want better rights for workers.
And the states didn't want that. That's not surprising.
Because they saw it as a communist thing. It was just people asking for better terms. Pay me more. Communist, get out.
Wow.
That was it. So the United States was trying to push Canada to go further. And Canada was pretty moderate towards people. But despite saying they were moderate and they were going to tolerate people with communist views, there was an intensive surveillance of communists in Canada and people who were left-leaning by Canada in partnership with the United States.
Oh, wow. They said
yes
they were
to this? Do what you want. You're fine. Communists are welcome in Canada. And then as they walked off, they went, idiots. We know everything they're doing. That's kind of that's what PROFUNC was. Essentially, PROFUNC was a national security program. It was the largest, one of the largest national security programs in peacetime history. And the idea was that they would keep a list of suspected communists. And so in the 1950s, the RCMP Commissioner Stuart Wood had a PROFUNC list of approximately 16,000 suspected communists.
So where do the Spies come in, Reese?
Well, this is it. They
I love that I ask you this every episode.
And 50,000 suspected communist sympathizers. So the idea was they thought that these were all potential spies.
Oh,
so this was a list. This was
potential communists.
This is my top 10 list of people I think are spies.
Oh, neat. Okay.
So these lists dictated who the special branch was like the RCMP's.
So the question was, were any of them spies?
We'll get to that. So they would observe.
You can't see this podcast listener, but when he said that, he kind of pointed the finger gun at me and raised an eyebrow like a cartoon character. It was wonderful.
We'll get to that.
There he does it again. It was good.
So these lists dictated. So special branch at this time, the RCMP was essentially the police force, but they were also Canada's spy agency. So Mounties did the spy stuff and the police stuff. And Special Branch was the Spy Mounties.
The Spy Mounties.
Spy Mounties. Spy Mounties. It's like an 80s TV show.
Spy Mounties, Canada. Why buy a Mountie anywhere else? Ding.
There's a nuclear bomb that has been dropped.
People in Halifax are the only ones who are going to get that little jingle I did. Sorry.
So the idea was this list of 16,000 suspected communists and 50,000 suspected communist sympathizers was essentially who they would watch and observe. And if there was ever a state of national security, they would just arrest them all. Because they knew where they all were. They knew what they were up to. They knew where they worked. They knew where they lived.
Did that happen?
Well, no, luckily.
No.
So the blacklist included prominent Canadian public figures, men and women, and their children.
What?
So,
what?
So essentially, they would just arrest the whole family.
Oh my God!
Because communist kids are communists. You teach them how to share. So that's all you need to know about kids. Share with your friend. But then if a kid said to me, if I was like, share your toy with your friend, and if my kid said to me, share your car with the neighbors, I'd be like, no, it's my fucking car. So kids are communists.
That's funny. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
We tell kids to share, but as adults, we refuse to share our things.
Right.
I would share your car with a homeless person. No! Share your toy with that boy we just met.
I never thought of it like that.
The warped life lessons we teach our children. We need to learn. So essentially, Mountie detachments across the country, so police stations, had sealed envelopes hidden, filed away in like a locked drawer, and in there was everyone who needed to be arrested if they got the orders of this from the top, basically to say, right, we need to arrest all the communists and communist sympathizers. The Mounties would go in their drawer, unseal the envelopes, and go, the Davis family, the whatever family, but go and arrest them and the kids.
Wow.
They were sharing their toys, the little bastards. And the arrest document was known as a C215 form. They actually had an official form for the people they needed to arrest.
Who comes up with these names?
It's a really imaginative name.
Well,
they couldn't call it the arrest the families form.
They could.
I mean, they'd be easier to find.
Right.
And the files included personal details such as age, physical description, photos, and vehicle information.
Wow. I saw the whole McCarthyism thing and like being arrested for being a communist thing. Like, I get having pride. I get it. Right. But at the same time, if you're facing like prison time or expulsion and the only thing they have on you is if they ask you if you're like a bunch of questions about if you're a communist and you say yes, and so they get rid, like just throw you at the cut. Why not just lie? All right, we've arrested you for what? You're a communist. No, I'm not.
No, but that was the thing. Canada said it was okay to be a communist. You could join the Communist Party.
No, but even if they arrested you because you were a communist.
No, but they wouldn't. That was the thing. They said it was fine.
They had a file ready to
because
go.
But it was secret. That was the idea. Was they would go, hey, everyone can be communist. If you're a communist,
what would they be arresting you for though?
Because if there was a national emergency, say there was a war with Russia,
what would the charge be?
The charge would just be, no, there was no charge. You know, like the internment camps in World War II, where they were just, like in America, Japanese Americans were interred.
Right.
Against their will with no
so
trial.
It would be like a secret arrest sort of thing.
It would just be arrest without trial. You and your family and your kids would just be put in a big camp, essentially. Until everything died down.
Right.
I mean, that was the thing, because they said, hey, if you want to be a communist, you be you. Because they said that, everyone was pretty open about it, and then they were just taking notes.
That's kind of smart, actually. Right.
And then, so all the Mounties had their secret envelopes. They got the orders in, get the C125 forms.
There's another 50 in there somewhere.
Around them, I don't know. Get the arrest the families forms. Get the I hate children forms.
Get the I hate children forms. Ads.
So, in addition, the forms also had obscure information such as potential escape routes from the individual's personal residence. So they were like, "Oh, this is the same with my family. This is Reese's family."
Do you have a personal escape route from your house?
I have 5.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I have booby traps. I have
kind of like an Indiana Jones.
They're a bit too mild for my liking.
Right. You want them more deadly.
Yeah, more deadly than Indiana Jones. Just try and spell Jehovah in my house. You'll die. And also, that invisible plank across the crevice.
Right.
Who used to dust it? That'd been there for thousands of years.
Oh, yeah.
Am I supposed to assume there was no dust buildup?
Well, the guy that at the end of the cave.
The old knight.
The old knight. He's just bored, doing nothing.
I suppose, yeah, you'd go and dust it every morning,
right? Yeah, just the morning dusting of the invisible bridge. It's on his list.
It's all sorry for him.
Yeah, well, yeah. He was probably bored to freaking tears.
Underdeveloped character. They should do a
if someone comes in, picks the wrong chalice to drink from, you'd think he'd stop him just for a minute, just to talk, just to chat.
Don't rush. I know you've come here and you've overcome all these deadly traps, and you're begging for eternal life.
But can we just what's up?
Yeah, what's going on in your life? What's going on in the world? What have I missed?
Yeah,
it's been 400 years so far. Chainmail still in?
How's the local sports team? Yeah, is chainmail still in? Was he wearing that when they came in?
He was wearing his armor because everyone from the Middle Ages was always dressed for war. Apparently,
yeah.
If I'd been there for 1,000 years, I wouldn't have kept my armor on.
No, seriously.
At some point, it would just be wearing a onesie.
It wouldn't take me 1,000 years to figure that out. Like
beanbag and a onesie. If I'm going to be in a chamber of chalices for 1,000 years. Lava lamp and some fairy lights.
Like they should have come in, Indiana Jones, and then should have come in, and he should the old knight should have just been like hanging out in his underwear and be completely surprised. I mean, completely,
oh my god,
like he
was like kneeling, holding a sword,
right? Like it's just like,
I know exactly.
Yeah, no, this is like I'm not praying anymore. I'm just like I wake up, I scratch myself, I go over to see if any of the chalices magically have wine in them because once or twice that happened.
My chainmail really smells. Yeah.
I think that's what the original title of that Indiana Jones movie was going to be called. But
Indiana Jones and the Smelly Chainmail.
You can see why they changed it.
I know that he's very the.
What were we talking about?
Oh yeah, communism.
Right.
Yeah.
Communism.
Anyway.
Yeah, of course.
So escape routes. You don't have an escape route from your house.
Indiana Jones and the Smelly Chainmails.
Should do a film poster for that.
No, I do not have. Well, I mean,
you should have an escape route because what if this, and this isn't me worrying about the Mounties coming to arrest me.
I guess
this is me just going. There's a fire hazard. That
yes, I have an escape route. I guess. Yeah, a couple. Yeah.
Also, as well, like you never know. You might have a Mad Max style gang of biker road warriors turn up.
Oh God, man! Don't say that. You don't know. Well, my neighborhood. It could happen.
What I've got is just a Molotov cocktail that I just throw and it goes in my septic tank and the front yard just blows up with them on top. I'm joking.
God, man, what is wrong with
you? My
you?
septic tank is covered, so that wouldn't happen. So,
Jesus Christ!
Killed by my methane. No, that's death by Reese's shit. That's what I call it.
Okay. Oh God. Please, let's continue. Yes.
Several prominent Canadians are suspected of being on the PROFUNC list, including Tommy Douglas, who founded the healthcare system.
Oh yeah,
because that's communism.
Oh right, of course it is. Yeah.
So if you want healthcare for all, then you're going to end up on the list. So the Canadian Penitentiary Service, aka Canadian Prisons, received an updated PROFUNC list from the RCMP to make them aware of the potential number of internees.
Wow.
So not only were the Mounties having these envelopes that were being updated, they were then going, hey, I got 5 communists. Have you got space? If you need to arrest them. Mobilization Day was known as M-Day. And this was the day, in the event of a perceived national security crisis, police services would arrest and transport people noted on the PROFUNC list and temporarily detain them in reception areas across Canada, including Casa Loma, a country club in Ontario.
Casa Loma, that's cool.
Yeah, it's got a Girl Guide exhibit and a vintage car exhibition.
Sorry, what?
It's got a Girl Guide exhibit and a vintage car exhibition.
Casa Loma does?
Yeah.
It's a big tourist trap right now.
Yeah. They could go there.
It's in Toronto, if anyone doesn't know.
Yeah, Port Arthur. And also the Regina.
I think it's in Toronto, isn't it? It's definitely in Ontario.
Port Arthur, Ontario, yeah. So you'd be arrested for being a communist. You could look
not
at some
Toronto.
old cars.
I thought it was in Toronto. I really did.
Or just cars as they were back then. So, and the Regina Exhibition Park would also be a temporary prison camp, but that was demolished. Is now a trade centre.
Oh.
With 150,000 square foot of convention space / internment camp.
Okay.
Men would be interred across Canada. The women would be interned in one of 2 facilities in the Niagara Peninsula or Kelowna, and the children would be sent to relatives or interned with their parents.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's your fault for being born to a communist.
Right? Yeah.
Now go and live with your grandmother. So, strict punishment regulations awaited the internees if they broke the rules, including being held indefinitely and shot when being caught attempting to escape. That was the plan. Those were the rules.
Jesus.
So, in the early 80s, Solicitor General of Canada, Bob Kaplan, caused PROFUNC to become defunct. He basically said, this is wrong, we're getting rid of it. And he introduced changes to the RCMP to discontinue it.
Hold on, when was McCarthyism? When was this all happening again?
McCarthyism was in the 50s.
That's what I thought.
But this ran into the 80s.
Oh my God! Wow.
So, I mean, you were born. I wasn't. I was born in the middle of the 80s. So you were about 15 then. You're not that old. But anyway.
I know.
So, so what happened was, the reason he found out about it was some elderly Canadians had problems crossing the US-Canadian border because they were on this list. And Canada had shared this list with America as well. So they would always have hassle trying to enter and leave the country because they were on this top secret list.
What would they say to them at the border?
They just ask them extra hard questions.
Like
I don't know what color is the Canadian flag and stuff like that. Nobody knows.
Okay.
So they basically got rid of it, and the Solicitor General of Canada had no idea that it existed. It was leaked to him by journalists, and in 2010 he said, "I can't believe it had any government authorization about it." So it was so secret, even really prominent, like legal people in the Canadian system had no idea that this list existed.
Wow.
And it wasn't until 2010 that some Canadians, their family and friends, learned for the first time that they were deemed a political enemy of the state by the government of Canada and law enforcement of Canada.
Would these be the children of the adults who are now grown up?
Well, it would have been the children. It would have been grandparents.
So these children had no idea
because they had no idea their parents were on the list or that they were on this list.
Right.
They just grew up. They grew up in Canada in the 60s and 70s.
Right. And then they're
yeah.
Wow.
So you can actually if you can find out if a family member was on the PROFUNC list, you can make a disclosure request to the federal government of Canada through the Privacy Act or the Access Information Act to find out if you or any of your relatives were on this secret list.
Oh my God! Is there a website or something? How do we do this?
You have to write to the federal government over the Access to Information Act. So
I have a feeling.
Do you think you would be?
Did that?
Do you think you
would then be put on the list?
yeah, just to find out. But also, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know
how your parents politically leaned or anything like that. But they could be on the list.
I doubt it. They were comedians.
Definite communists. All comedians are communists.
Yeah, that's for sure.
apart from the ones who make lots of money. That's when they stop.
Fucking commies is short for comedians, is what they
exactly. Yeah. Comedianism.
It's a real problem in this country.
Is a society where everyone has to be funny,
or they die. Yeah,
that was the thing about. I read a really interesting book about life in the Soviet Union, and it was basically saying, like, people saying, in films in the West is portrayed as always being cold and miserable, and they were talking about what life was like, and it was this really interesting thing. It said basically that if you wanted to be an artist, you could be an artist, and that would be your job. You go, I want to be an artist, or I want to be a musician, or I want to be a comedian.
I thought they chose for you.
No, but you could, if you were good at it, they would go, yeah, go. Here's the art school. Go to the art school, but you would get paid for life, basically the same wage that everybody else was because it was communism. But you could only make state-sanctioned art and songs.
Oh.
So you couldn't just do what you want. You go, look, I drew Stalin, but he's got 5 eyes. They go like, no chance. You're not an artist anymore. So if you wanted to be an artist, you could, but you had to do it within the guidelines of what the state dictated.
That's awful.
Whereas our system is, you can be an artist, but you'll never make any money. And you won't be able to eat.
That's very true.
But you can make whatever you want. So that's the trade-off.
Yeah, that's fun.
Sell out for financial security and just make pro-state propaganda.
That's kind of what you have to do here anyway. It's just if you want to make any money, you're selling
We've made
out.
a lot of jokes about Justin Trudeau eating babies. I don't think that's true.
That's true, yeah. And we haven't been killed yet for it.
Yet.
Yeah.
But when we do get killed, I look forward to seeing everyone in hell that I don't believe in.
Right. Yeah. So
I'll get what if I was going to die, what do you think I get reincarnated as?
A giraffe.
Yeah, I'd like to be tall. I'm fine with that.
And eat leaves.
The only thing that scares me about being a giraffe is being born, because it's a big drop at the start. I think you would come back as... I think you're stuck in a loop. You just come back as you.
I'd like that. That'd be
Again.
fun. Yeah.
No memories.
Like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, exactly.
But just like my entire life. Instead of
just
one day.
You. No, you, but you would be like, say you were born last year, you'd be one now, and you'd eventually just become you in 40 years.
Yeah. I'd be okay with that. Yeah. I think the world needs more of me.
Just stuck on a loop for the rest of eternity.
Jesus. All right.
Never evolving.
Is that the end of is that the end of today's spy story?
That's the end of today's spy story. We're now somehow talking about reincarnation.
This was Reese told me this was going to be a short episode.
It was short
because I had to go.
That was short.
It was about.
Why did you have to go? Have you got something better to do?
35 minutes long.
Have you got something better to do than talk about Canadian spies?
Yeah, I'm making a movie, and it's really hard.
What if it was easy? Everyone would make a movie. But come on, we're making Indiana Jones and the Smelly Chainmail. So.
I can't wait to watch that.
So follow us on Instagram. Please come back tomorrow. Spy on baristas and put an information request in to find out if you or your family were considered enemies of the state by the government of Canada.
I like that. Yeah,
if you were an enemy of the state or any of your relatives were, send us an email. We'd love to find out. And we'll read your email out.
We totally will too.
We will. I'm off to record some more science show. Hi, I'm Reese, the voice of Canadian science.
Can you believe it?
No.
I can't believe it.
I'm not the authoritative voice. I'm just a voice. But yeah,
I can't wait. Yeah, I hope I can make an appearance.
A serious show with no jokes. Even though on the inside I'm making jokes just for me. So
just listen to the tone of your voice, man. Thank you so much for listening and sticking us in your ear holes. Thank you for, I hope you've been enjoying this run of Canadian Spy series so far. It's been fun for me. I think it's been kind of fun for Reese. I don't know, he seems to be enjoying himself.
I'm having a blast.
Yeah? Okay, good. I'm glad. Yeah.
I'm going to smash something up now with excitement.
Can we keep the mics on while that happens?
No, it's just for me.
So I got to leave first. And then, okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Please come back.
Please come back.
And I hope we're on a secret list.
No, I don't want to be. That sounds awful.
Acast powers the world's best podcasts. Here's a show that we recommend.
Are you ready for some personality in your personal finances? Hi, I'm Janice Torres-Rodriguez, Latina money expert and host of the award-winning podcast, Yo Quiero Dinero. On this show, we're serving up POC-friendly personal finance knowledge, always with a side of sass. We're not talking about avocado toast and lattes on this show. We've got real, relatable personal finance knowledge that makes you feel seen, heard, and finally understood. Consider me your super cool, slightly risque, but always honest financial fairy godmother. Together, we'll tackle dinero in a fresh new way so you can finally become poderosa with your dinero. Check out our weekly podcast episodes at yoquierodineropodcast.com or subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
Acast helps creators launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts everywhere. Acast.com.